my little piece of God's own. Hey, my name is Kakamakiwi, and I live here in the New Zealand bush with me mates. The oldest mate is Mananui Maua. The littlest one you can probably hear if you listen carefully. Her name's Fran Tail. Then there's Kaikia, and there's our Toatakahe, and the slowest one of all, Porangi Pukeko. We have a lot of adventures trying to stay away from Feral Ferret, Evil Eel and their mates. But we've got some great helpers too. There's Kaumatua Kauri, and then there's the old Rangatiraruru, Tuatara, Huia and Kokako. They're all here. We get good advice from Rockfella too. He's been around the longest. Anyway, join us. There's another adventure on its way right now. When I finish lunch, that is.
Hey, where are we, Dan? Where you can teach kids good, wholesome family and community values and principles. Yeah, and safety and respect and, well, good common bush sense, right, Dan?
Yeah, where would you like to go, Curious Kiwi?
How about downtown? Wow, that's awesome! Hey, how did you do that?
Told you, Curious Kiwi. With the blue screen behind us, we can go anywhere.
How about the beach?
The beach?
Wow, awesome! It's a little sunny here, though, just as well I got a hat and shades on.
Yeah, that's right. Where else would you like to go?
Let's see. A river in the New Zealand bush. Wow, awesome! Oh, listen to the gurgling stream, and I'm sure there's some hoo-hoos around here.
Not time for lunch yet, Curious Kiwi.
I know where I want to go. Cave scene in the bush where the rocks and the trees and everything talks to us. A real fantasy land.
Well, that's what we're in the process of creating, Curious Kiwi. But first, let's find out how we create the individual puppets.
And yeah, how they come to life out of that egg head of yours. He's a little cracked.
Join us now as we turn a lump of clay into a puppet head.
This sculpture is being created in plasticine or plastina. You can also mold your master in potter's clay, which is considerably cheaper. The reason I like oil-based clay is that you can leave it and come back to it whenever you wish. With modeling clay, you have to keep it moist while not working on it. I've found that Play-Doh will float when you're pouring the plaster of Paris over it, so avoid such materials. Plasticine can be purchased in quantity from good art shops that supply sculptors, and though more expensive, can be used over and over again. Take time in smoothing and finishing your sculpture. The extra effort is worth it for the good, clean, professional finish you get.
Now it's time for us to start putting it into a mold. Pouring of the plaster for the making of the mold.
The consistency of runny custard.
Time now to dig out what's inside of it so we can get ready to pour the rubber latex.
Because the heat that's generated softens the clay and makes it pliable.
Pour the rubber latex into the mold.
Remember, if there are undercuts like a protruding chin, make sure you tip the mold so the latex will flow into these areas.
To pour the rubber latex out of the mold.
There's nothing like the satisfaction that comes from seeing your finished creation, but don't be too quick to take it out of the mold. It stays soft for a day or two.
There we have it. One poured head. I'll mix up the paint, which is a special mixture of rubber latex, tinter, and a few other bits and pieces, and we'll get underway with painting the head.
But if you're making a ventriloquist puppet that will be seen at close quarters, be a little more subtle with your finish and make it look a bit more real.
Now, with a bit of creative use of some foam and some fabric, we come up with a character like
Bruno!
Yeah, Bruno, you're a bit of an unseemly looking character.
Now that you've got your puppet made, the secret is to bring it to life.
Bring me to life?
Yes, bring you to life.
Oh, I think actually that I'm going to bring him to life.
Right. And I love your eyes, Kakamakiwi. You've got nice, big, bright eyes.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
So it's important to remember where your puppet is looking.
that when you're in a puppet theatre, you have to make sure that all attention is focused on the puppet that's speaking. Oh, so they know who's talking, Dan? Yes, so they know who's talking, Portangi.
So you start sitting down on your heels, okay? And then you start walking the puppet, just bending, as Dan has said before. You flex from your shoulder and your wrist and your elbow. You do not flex your wrist. And then up you come, and the puppet comes up and comes forward. So it gives a very good idea of forward motion. Good morning.
Perfect.
And now I will turn and leave. Turn the puppet, as you walk the puppet round, turn him round till he's facing the back, and then collapse your knees back down onto your heels, and then bring your arm down, and the puppet will then walk off the stage, and it will look more convincing.
Perfect motion.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's these small tricks that make an average puppet show a really good show if you get all these little things correct. So
Let's see it happen with a puppet on, because it looks a lot different with the puppet on. Very few folks that get the view. You see, you don't even realize what's going on here because you're busy looking at the puppet. Very few folks that get the view.
G'day, I'm Dan the Puppet Man, and this is my friend, Mananui Moa.
Mananui here kaingo te whānau ngā te ngō.
So you're a big bird from the lost tribe of Boy, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Push this button right here and... Oh, Simon, it's broken! I was trying to tell you that.
I'll see you soon.
And I'll see you later.